Hello, Serious and Silliness, episode 4. But today I have the pleasure of introducing the most beautiful woman in the world. I might be a little biased. My mother. Go ahead, Ma, introduce yourself.
Hello. Hi, I'm John's mom,
You could
and
say.
I'm the most beautiful woman in the world.
All
That's what he said, right?
right. So you tell us a little bit about yourself. So your first name is Madeline,
Yes.
and tell us what year
I
you.
was born Madeline Justra,
Okay. Tell us what year you were born in and how old you are.
1935 I was born, and I'm 85 now.
God damn.
1935.
God damn, that's old.
Only if you feel it. I don't feel old.
That's true. That's true. So, Ma, apparently you're so old that you left your pocketbook on Noah's Ark.
What? What did he say?
I said, you're so old. If somebody asked you to act your age, you'd have to be dead.
Okay.
All right, never mind. All right, so Ma, in 1935, right? The average cost of a house was $4,100.
Really?
Yeah. The average cost of a gallon of milk was 10 cents. A loaf of bread was 9 cents.
And when I bought cigarettes from my father, they were a penny each.
They were a penny each. Lucy's were a penny each. Wow.
Penny each.
And average cost of a car was $760. So why don't you tell us where you were born and raised?
Brooklyn, New York, Brooklyn, New York, downtown Brooklyn.
What part? You can get a little detail.
Well, we called it downtown, but it was like Red Hook section.
Red Hook, okay.
Section.
What's it called now?
I really don't know.
Carroll Gardens?
Carroll Gardens, okay, you got it.
All right. What kind of neighborhood was it?
All Italian.
That's it? All Italian, nobody else?
Nobody but Italians.
Okay. All right. That's good. And you were married for 43 years, right?
Yeah, that's all. I guess, yeah.
43, you got married in 61?
Yes.
So you were married and Daddy passed in 2004, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you married 43 years. How'd you meet Daddy?
At a dance. Daddy owned a social club. And me and my girlfriends went to the social club.
Uh-huh.
And he was dating my girlfriend, but he really liked me.
He was dating a girlfriend, but he liked you.
Yeah.
How did that work out? How did that go over?
Well, his friend came over to me and said, "Listen, you got to go out with my friend Johnny because he likes you."
Oh, really?
I said,
Really?
okay.
And what about the girl he was dating? What did she say?
But she was good about it. She realized that he didn't like her.
Really?
Yeah, she knew it.
Oh, okay.
So she was good. And she was my bridesmaid.
She was your bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something that most women would never do. So you were married for 43 years, and back then in 61, the divorce rate was really, really low. People never got divorced. But today, people get divorced often. They get divorced it's about 50% of the time they get divorced once they get married. Why do you think that? Why do you think divorce is so prevalent today?
Because nobody's going to take each other's. Nobody likes each other. After a few years, you don't like each other.
So you just.
But, and years ago, like when I was a kid, when I got married, you put up with whatever your husband did.
Right.
It was always what he did, not what you did.
Right. Of course. And so today you think that people just decide, oh, I'm not interested anymore, I'm leaving.
No, today the women don't put up with anything. That's it.
Oh, I see. So the men were a little different.
Yeah, they were dominant.
So they were. So what kind of things did you have to put up with back then?
I don't know. All his going out, just going out with his friends, going out, doing
Yeah.
all this, everything that I wasn't allowed to do.
Oh, I got you. So he would go out with his friends, and you weren't able to.
No, I had to stay home and watch the babies.
Oh, okay. All right. But other than that, I mean, you and Daddy had a pretty good marriage. I mean, I see a lot of pictures. Daddy was in the Army, right?
And yeah, after I met him, he went into service. He had to go into service. Yeah,
And
I waited for him.
you waited for him?
Yeah.
And did you write to him?
Yes.
Every day? You wrote to him every day?
Every single day. He would get a letter every day.
Wow, that's very romantic. You're very romantic. So let me see. I was going to ask you a few questions. Let me see. So these are questions that I know that you would like. All right. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, who do you think is a better singer, Judy Garland or Barbra Streisand?
Judy Garland, there's no question.
Really?
Yeah.
What made Judy Garland so great?
Well, because I grew up with her, you know, when I was a kid, she was out there and she was always singing. She was just great. She had a great voice.
Okay. All right. And here's another question. Who was a sexier man, Telly Savalas or Chris Christopherson?
You know I'm going to say. What am I going to say? You know that.
Chris Christopherson?
Oh, yeah, he was cute. But what happened to him? He got old and I don't know. Did he die or is he
I
still
think
alive?
he died. I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm sure the majority of people we're talking about are dead.
I like Savalas too, though.
Yeah, I know. I remember you saying like Telly Savalas was sexy.
He was sexy, yeah.
You used to watch the show. What was the name? Well, I forgot the name
It
of the show.
was a cop show.
Yeah, it was a detective. And he used to have a lollipop all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. And he used to say, what was his catchphrase? Who loves you, baby?
Yeah, that was really going back.
Yeah,
You got some mind. You got some memory.
So you got married. You had 3 kids.
Right.
So now, how many grandchildren do you have now? It's a trick question. Be careful. It's a trick question.
4. Oh, and the baby, I'm a great grandma.
That's right. That's right.
I'm a great grandma.
You gotta.
I have 4 grandchildren, and I'm a great grandma.
You have to include Antonio.
Well, yeah, he's like, yeah. I include him in, but he's not how would I don't know. How would I call him my grandson all the time anyway, but I don't know.
So, I mean, he's been around since he's 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Just for people who doesn't know, my brother is remarried and has a stepson. So that is also my mother's grandchild. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Oh, okay. So I always tease you. Your name is Madeline. I always tease you and call you Mal. But where did that name can't come from?
But then Josie's girlfriend who couldn't say Madeline, she said Madeline. It's true. And Jeannie, she was so ignorant.
Yeah, Jeannie was ignorant.
She couldn't say Madeline, so she'd say Mal.
Okay. Didn't she have an argument with Daddy over the difference between a lawyer and an attorney?
Of course.
And she said that an attorney is higher than a lawyer.
Yeah, that's better than a lawyer.
And then
And
Daddy,
that's to let her know that it's the same thing.
yeah.
It's the same thing.
And didn't Daddy say, "Oh God, what if I were to say Esquire"?
How do you remember these things?
I remember everything.
God, I would
remember everything.
I would have never remembered that.
That's right.
That's right.
So, what kind of man was Daddy? Daddy was very into his family. Took care of his family, right?
His mom, he was very good to his mother.
Very good to his mother, but he was also very good to your mother.
And his sister. He was good to his family. He was good to us. So he tried, best to do whatever he could for us.
And he was also good to your mother, though, right?
Yes, he was very good to my mother.
And every time Grandma would stay over, he would buy. What would he buy? Cream puffs, right? Because Grandma liked cream.
Ice cream and cream puffs. Ice cream and cream puffs.
That's right, ice cream and cream puffs. And him and his sister, Aunt Josie, they were really close, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was Daddy, Aunt Josie, and Uncle Phil.
Oh, that's right.
Right. But what happened? Tell everybody what happened to Uncle Phil.
Well, he got into drugs and he OD'd.
But didn't he wasn't it an alcoholic thing? Didn't he kick the
No,
drugs?
and he tried to kick the drugs, and so he was drinking all the time.
Oh,
He he kept drinking because he was trying not to do drugs anymore.
oh, okay. Okay.
He really hurt himself with the drugs. He really did. That's why he died.
Oh, all right. Daddy used to say that he was really tough. He was really street tough.
Very, 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 very.
There was he told me a story. Actually, Uncle Tommy told me this story about it. He got into a fight on the docks because he was working as a longshoreman, and then he broke somebody's arm on the docks. Do you remember that story?
No, I don't remember that. No.
That's what Uncle Tommy had told me. He's
very tough guy, very tough. In the neighborhood, though, they were all tough guys, and he was one of them.
All right, why don't you tell us about that? The neighborhood was a lot of tough guys. Was there a lot of gangsters, a lot of mafia?
Yeah, there was mafia. Yeah, definitely.
Who was the most famous out of the neighborhood that came out of the neighborhood?
I forgot the one that came, Joe something. What was Gallo?
Joe Gallo.
Gallo.
Yeah, they called him Crazy Joe Gallo.
Right. He came from down Columbia Street, Union Street.
Right. And he was the one that was shot and killed, right?
Right.
And, they showed it in that movie. I don't know if you watched the movie, The Irishman.
Yeah.
There was Sebastian Maniscalco played him, and they showed the scene where he dies in Little Italy when they kill him. So what about, didn't Grandpa have a friend that was a famous gangster? Well, not as famous as Joe Gallo, but.
No, yeah, he had a friend. But Grandpa grew up with all of them, in the neighborhood.
Right.
They knew them all.
Right.
And he had a good friend who was part of,
yeah, his name was Frank. And do you remember the story? What he used to set up Grandpa with, so it'd be a loan shark.
That's right. Grandpa couldn't do it because he couldn't break any. Grandpa couldn't take money from people because, especially if he knew they didn't have much money.
Right.
And when you're a loan shark, they got to pay you one way or the other. They don't care how.
Right.
But couldn't do that. So finally, Frankie said to him, "All right, Jim, this is enough for you."
And didn't Grandpa have an ice cream parlor growing up?
Yeah, he had an ice cream parlor.
And you worked
there?
there?
He opened an electrical business, and then he opened an ice cream parlor.
Didn't you work there?
Did he work there?
Did you work there?
Yeah, well, I ate a lot of ice cream, but I was in high school, and Emma worked there.
And Emma worked there?
Yeah, she met her boyfriend there, one of her boyfriends.
Really? Who was Emma's boyfriend?
What was his name? Yano.
No.
That was Italian for Johnny.
Say that again?
That was Italian for Johnny. Yano was it.
Oh, okay.
And he used to tease me, and I didn't like him, and I used to kick him.
You used to kick him?
I was little.
Yeah.
He used to tease me, yeah.
And so you grew up, you had one sister and one brother, right? Aunt Josie and Uncle Peter.
Aunt Josie wasn't my
Oh,
sister.
I'm sorry, Jesus. Aunt Emma and Uncle Peter.
Aunt Emma and Uncle Peter.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Aunt Josie was my father's sister. I got confused.
But she was my sister-in-law.
Yeah. So Aunt Emma and Uncle Peter. And Uncle Peter was the youngest?
Yeah.
Can you tell one of the stories about, I think, what was the story was it your boyfriend or Aunt Emma's boyfriend who came to the door?
My boyfriend.
Yeah, okay, tell that story.
Which one?
The one where Uncle Peter was playing Cowboys and Indians.
Oh, God, yeah. He was a little boy. He had the Holster, the fake Holster gun and guns like he was a cowboy.
Right.
One of my boyfriends came to the house to pick me up, and he hit him over the head with the gun. The guy who came to pick me up, my boy, I'm at the time with my boyfriend. In Peter's head, he was a big guy.
Right.
And so Peter was he was supposed to be the sheriff.
Right.
And he hit him over the head with the gun.
And what did the guy do?
What did he do? He left and he never came back. He was afraid of Peter.
Okay. So was Grandpa a strict father?
No,
Not at all, really?
no, he wasn't.
But wasn't there a story you told me about when you decided you were going to smoke in front of him?
Oh, yeah, well, he didn't know I smoked. Don't forget, I was only 16 years old at that time.
Really?
Yeah, and he smoked that, and he was a chain smoker.
Wow.
So we're sitting at the table eating dinner, me, and Emma, Grandma, and Peter was little. Peter was little. So I said to him, give me a cigarette, Dad, I want to smoke. He said, you want to smoke? He didn't believe I knew how. So I said, yeah, give me one of your cigarettes. So he smoked Lucky Strikes.
Oh, God.
And he gave me one, and I smoked. And he said, that son of a bitch, and kid knows how to smoke.
Did Grandpa have a lot of tattoos?
Yeah, he had tattoos, yeah.
What was the tattoo? I think he had a tattoo on his leg you used to tell me about.
Yeah, he had a heart with a knife that goes through, and the heart was bleeding.
Mm-hmm. And what was the one on his leg? Did he have a bulldog or something like that?
Bulldog was on his arm.
Oh, on his arm.
Yeah.
And wasn't there another tattoo of there was like I don't know what to call it, a gang, but a group of kids he used to run with when he was young. That he had a tattoo on his arm, or am I?
Oh, yeah, Last Minute Boys, yeah, Last Minute Boys.
Where was that tattoo?
That was when he was a kid, and they had gangs in the neighborhood,
Right.
and he was the Last Minute Boys.
That was his crew, the Last Minute Boys.
He had it on his arm.
Oh, okay. And what kind of woman was Grandma?
A very good, quiet, good woman.
Yeah.
Very good to her children, very good to her husband,
Mm-hmm.
and obeyed whatever he said and whatever he did. That was it.
But Grandpa was a good man, but he was a little more of a street guy.
Yeah, he was a street guy. Yeah.
Okay.
And the best thing that I remember, my grandma loved ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
She loved her ice cream, and he always bought her ice cream.
Really?
And the bungalow bar used to come around. He used to be across the street in the club playing cards. And the bungalow bar used to come around. And he used to come out and say, Mary, what kind of ice cream you want?
Yeah.
And he used to get the ice cream, and he'd make some kid bring it up to my mother, the ice cream. And she got her ice cream.
Well, what you get, like chocolate or vanilla, or it didn't matter?
Yeah, whatever, yeah. Mainly she liked chocolate.
Oh, okay. So growing up, you had your friends. You had one particular friend that you're really close with, Claire.
No, before I was Rosemary. I was very close to Rosemary.
Rosemary, all right. And how did you know? You grew up with her, or you knew her from high school?
No, we grew up together and playing outside in the street.
Oh, okay. And back then, what would you play?
Handball against good. We lived next door to a factory, and when they weren't having the car, they got these I don't know what would you call them, the when they closed with the
like a garage door.
The garage door would be like all aluminum.
I got you.
And so we used to play handball against that, and sometimes they bring a Levio. And when the radio, and then I don't know if you wouldn't know that game. Ring a lever, somebody's up against the wall.
Right.
And they'll hide there, and they say, ring, ring. How many fingers do I have up? And you have to count the fingers. You'd have to guess the fingers. And if you didn't guess the fingers, they'd all hide, and you have to find them.
All right, not bad. But I remember stories about Claire, how you and Claire would be laughing and having a good time and whatnot.
Yeah, Claire and I were always silly, always laughing, always joking.
And wasn't there a story where you were hysterical laughing at your mother-in-law's wake?
Oh, yeah, Daddy hollered at us.
Oh, really? So what happened? Why were you guys laughing so hard?
She was next to me, and we were always silly, and we always laughed. And she had me hysterical laughing because she was making fun of the people. And I was hysterical laughing. Daddy got mad at us.
Oh, okay.
Get out.
All right, not bad. So when Daddy was making a lot of money, when he was doing good at business, I remember him buying everybody a lot of things. He was very generous.
Very generous, very generous.
And
Yes.
didn't he buy you a new car?
Bought me a new car, bought me not one main coat, but two main coats and one fur jacket.
Wow. Very nice. The women today would love to have a husband like that.
He was very generous. He really was very good with money.
Now, didn't he buy you a car and you crashed it, and then you tried to have it fixed behind his back?
Yes, and he knew all about it.
So tell that story.
Well, he bought me a new car. I forgot what it was. It was, what's the name of those cars? It was a Chevy, but it was gray. It was tan and brown.
Okay.
Tan and brown. And I got into an accident with it, and I went to the garage that they took care of cars. They if you had a problem, they'd take the car and they would fix it for you.
Right.
So what I did was, and the guy that worked there, his name was Angelo.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Angelo, you got to come and you got to my car, and and I had an accident. And I don't want Johnny to know. We just bought the car and blah blah blah. So he says, all right, he took the car. But Daddy knew all about it. I don't know how he knew about it. He knew everything anyway. And I had it all fixed, and I paid for it. I paid it all myself. I didn't ask him for a dime. And then when the car was in front of the house, all brand new, he said, oh, the car looks good. Angelo did a good job. How do you know that?
You knew everything. So Daddy was pretty, pretty sharp.
Very sharp.
Yeah. Very street smart. But he kind of had like if you met him, he didn't look street, right? He had like a businessman's camouflage.
Yeah.
Right. But very likable. People liked him.
All the time. Yeah. Everybody liked him. But they weren't then.
Say that again?
No, it's true. Everybody liked him. Everybody liked him.
All right. I know. You said it. Because I remember at the wake, there were a lot of people. When Daddy passed, I remember there was a lot of people at the wake.
Yeah. For
3 days. There were plenty of people that came to see him. Okay. So the other question I wanted to ask you was about me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I want you to name 3 things about me that you remember, bad or good, it doesn't matter, about my childhood.
Well, one was that you always got up in the middle of the night and jumped in your brother Dominic's bed.
That's true. I remember that. Okay.
Always. And then you would bother Michael, and Michael would holler and scream, and Jack would come and calm everybody down. Because Michael didn't want you to, he didn't mind being bothered, he was sorry. And then what else about you?
2 more things.
Well, in school you were very well liked. The teachers loved you.
Okay.
And
one bad thing, one thing that you hated.
I don't remember hating anything about you.
What about the fireworks on 4th of July?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I didn't hate that. You were deathly afraid of the noise of the fireworks, or I'd have to hide you or camouflage them however I could. Put you in the bedroom and cover you up with blankets so that you wouldn't hear them. But you would get hysterical. You would get hysterical, afraid of them.
And then you would put the TV on and the air conditioner on real loud.
Yeah, so that we tried to camouflage to hear the fireworks, but they were so bad in the neighborhood that everybody had fireworks, and it was unbelievable the way it was.
Yeah, talk about what it was like 4th of July in Brooklyn in the 1980s. About how, well, in the 80s, that's when I was a baby, right? So all the fireworks, I mean, the whole block would be on fire, right?
That's right, the whole block. Everybody that lived on the block bought fireworks. So every house had fireworks.
Right.
So it was I don't know, what would you call it with every house has fireworks in the streets? I mean, it was unbelievable.
It was like World War II.
Yeah, because every house had them.
Right.
Every person who lived in the house had them.
So what would you have to do the next morning?
And your brothers were the first one to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Because Daddy would make sure they had their fireworks.
Oh, okay. And they'd be in the street with their friends lighting all the fireworks.
That's right.
So what would you have to do the next morning? Because I remember you and who else? Well, Roseanne.
Clean the streets.
That's
Clean the
right.
streets. Clean the streets. Me, Roseanne, and who was it? Dolores.
Uh-huh.
We'd have to clean the streets, and even Antoinette across the street, because her husband used to be out there too with the fire.
Okay.
So we'd be out there cleaning the streets.
So all the guys the night before would blow up the whole block with fireworks, and the next morning, all the women would come out there sweeping up, cleaning up, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's right.
But the women were taken care of, right? But I mean, like you said, Daddy would buy you a lot of nice gifts and take you out and so on and so forth.
Right.
Were
Daddy was very generous. He was very generous.
Were a lot of the women like that? Like, were their husbands very good to them, or your friends? Or
No.
Really? Daddy
was very generous. He really
Daddy
was.
went above and beyond.
Yeah.
And for his kids too, right? I remember Christmas having a load of toys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Make sure you always have plenty of toys.
But he was also like that with his nephew and his nieces and whatnot, right on Christmas, with the food and everybody over.
Well, Christmas was a big time with fish. Everybody bought fish, and Daddy was great for going to the fish market and buying all the fish with my father.
Right.
And we'd have a big fish dinner on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because Christmas Eve Italians eat fish, right?
And he would have his family always. Well, his mother died young, so he would have his sisters over, his brothers over, you know. And we'd have a big fish dinner. And he wouldn't take money from anybody, just himself. He did it all himself.
Right. What time would Aunt Josie come in the morning to start cooking?
How about the day before? Clean the fish, because you had to clean the fish.
So everybody was at the house the day before Christmas Eve?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right.
And that's to buy Chinese food or pizza or something, because we weren't going to eat the fish the day before.
Right. Right.
And so that was that.
Okay. And my godmother was a very good friend of yours, Dolores, right?
Very good friend. Yeah, she was a good person.
And she was pretty tough, wasn't she?
Very tough, yeah.
Now, wasn't there a story where, I don't know if she got into a car accident or she almost got into a car accident with a truck driver?
She wants to beat up the driver. Yeah. No, we were together in the car.
Right.
Her and I were in the car together. And I think I was driving. I'm not sure whether she was or I was driving. And this truck came and almost went into us.
Right.
And she got out of the car and she wanted to kill him.
Really?
She wanted him. And I said, he was a big guy and she wanted to hit him. The cop came because we had an accident. The cop calmed her down, you know. And she's the best lady, best friend I ever had.
Yeah, she was a good godmother to me.
Very good, yeah. She's really
Wasn't
good.
there another story where she wanted to fight a young girl in the supermarket and told her to come outside?
I don't remember that one.
I remember you telling me a story where they got into an argument, I think in a supermarket, and the lady said to her, if you weren't so old, I would beat you up. And she said, don't.
Oh, right. Yes. We're in the supermarket. That's right. And she said, come outside, I'll show you how old I am. She was a tough son of a bitch, I tell you, boy.
And the best story was when you told me the time she found out that her husband, my godfather, was cheating on her. And she chased him with a kitchen knife.
That's right.
So tell that story.
But she found out that he was fooling around. You know,
How did she find out?
Yeah, he had a girlfriend that he was very serious with at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot her name. But anyway, so when she found out, she got the knife out and she chased him with the knife out of the house.
Right.
We were running out of time because she would have stabbed him. She would have.
And where did he run to?
I'm the Streisand. And I mean, Dolores, stop. I'll kill that son of that bitch. But she wasn't mad because he had a girlfriend. She was mad because he was giving money to this woman.
Oh.
So she wasn't mad that he had a girlfriend. She could care less than that he had a girlfriend. But don't give my money to her, to
That was her attitude. Yeah, you could do what you want, but don't give them money. Right.
But don't.
That was really where she drew the line.
Right.
So, let's see. What else can I ask you? I mean, you lived through a lot. I mean, you were born right in the middle of the Great Depression, right? 1935. And then when you were 5 years old, World War II started. Well, the United States joined World War II.
Right.
Do you remember that? Do you remember when the GIs came home?
Yeah, definitely, sure.
Yeah.
They used to come because we live near the docks, so the ships used to pull in, or they were going to go to the ships, and they used to be in truckloads, and they would be outside the truck, and they used to throw their hats, and kids used to run to get their hat, like their I don't know, what would you call them, Tammys and whatever hats they threw at us, and we ran to get them. Who had more than one hat? Who had more? And we all ran, and they were sailors. They were sailors going to the what would you call that?
The Navy.
The Navy Yard, and they throw their hats at us, and this is when the World War was over, though.
Right, when they came home.
Yeah, they were coming home.
So another big event that you lived through was the Brooklyn Dodgers winning the World Series in 1955.
That's right.
So what was the neighborhood like in 1955 when the Brooklyn Dodgers won?
Oh my God, the whole neighborhood blew up with fireworks, and it was unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
And who was your favorite ball player at the time that was on that team?
What was his name? Give me his name.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Reese?
No, Duke Snider.
Duke Snider was your favorite.
Duke Snider.
So there's Pee Wee Reese, Duke Snider, and of course the great Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Duke Snider.
Duke Snider was. Do you remember what position he played?
No.
Me neither. I'd have to find out. I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think I'm not sure. I don't know. All I know is.
And so let's see. I'm going to ask you about your new great-grandchild.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen her yet.
Yeah, with this whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to see her either. But I'm probably going to go this weekend.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Donna's going to take me, but you can't go in the house. You can't see the baby in the house.
Yeah, I don't know what the regulations are. I'm still going to go because I feel bad not going, even though I can't go in the house.
You got to be careful. I don't think you can go near the baby.
Yeah, I know. But if Dominic can't take you, I'll definitely pick you up and take you. We just got to figure out when.
I don't know when Dominic is, because Dominic told me that. But Dominic goes, but he's outside.
Yeah.
He's outside to see the baby.
Right.
But I have to do the same thing. I can't. You can't go near the baby. It's too dangerous right now.
So this is your grandson's daughter.
My great-granddaughter.
Right. So your grandson was Dominic.
Right.
So do you remember when we lived in Staten Island and Daddy put the pool in the yard? Remember he put the pool in the yard?
Yeah,
and then Dominic would bring the kids over. And do you remember what little Dominic would do?
He wouldn't even come in the house. He'd go straight in the pool. Straight in the yard and jump in the pool. Really. He didn't even come in the house. And then Daddy said, he's here. He's here.
Yeah.
And then the girls came along.
That's right. And then I remember Christina and Nicole. And then right next door, Nicole had her friend, little Lewis, remember?
That's right.
He used to ring the bell and he used to say, Cole here, Cole here.
Coley.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, Ma. Well, I'm going to cut it off. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's fun. This will be probably up tomorrow. I'll come
What
in.
do you put on?
It goes on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's my own YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, will I be able to see it?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. You are going to be episode 4.
Oh, but God, don't show my face.
I'm going to have to. It's YouTube. People watch it.
Oh, God, so ugly.
You're not ugly. You're my mother. You're beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you. All right, whatever.
All right, Ma, thank you. And remember, people out there, like and subscribe my channel, okay? And thank you, Ma. Do you want to say anything else before we go?
No, just that I love you very much.
I love
and you're
you.
my baby son.
What?
You're my baby son.
Thank you, Ma. I love you too. And I'll see you this weekend.
Okay, good.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.